Since the dawn of time, when humanity first looked up at the night sky, one question has always haunted our existence. Are we alone in the universe? This question has echoed through every civilization, from ancient myths that saw falling stars as messages from the gods, to modern telescopes that pierce the depths of the cosmos, revealing unimaginable secrets. In this vast ocean of light, every once in a while, something unusual appears, something that makes scientists pause, that sparks curiosity in ordinary people, and that fuels the imaginations of mystery seekers who see it as a sign. Two of these strange visitors are Oumuamua and 3 IATLAS, interstellar objects that passed through our solar system and left behind mysteries that still defy full explanation today. Oumuamua was first discovered in 2017, when the Pan-STARRS telescope in Hawaii captured the trajectory of an object racing through the solar system. It wasn't like any asteroid or comet we had ever seen. Its shape was elongated, thin like a cigar or a shard. Its orbit didn't fit any expected path. And most puzzling of all, it moved as if something was pushing it, even though there were no visible signs of gas or dust that would normally propel a comet. Astronomers gave it the name Oumuamua, a Hawaiian word meaning the first messenger from afar. That name was no accident, because many believed the object truly felt like a message, whether from the universe itself or perhaps from something more, before the debate over Oumuamua had even settled. In 2025, the world was once again shaken by the arrival of 3 IATLAS. This was the third interstellar object ever detected by humans, following Oumuamua and Borisov. But what made 3 IATLAS even more intriguing was its strangeness. Its coma contained an unusually high ratio of carbon dioxide compared to water, something rarely seen in ordinary comets. Even stranger, its light didn't glow like a normal tail, but seemed to shine from the front. To scientists, it was a baffling puzzle. 2 conspiracy theorists and alien enthusiasts. It was yet another piece of evidence that something or someone out there was watching us. Imagine for a moment that in the infinite ocean of stars, something foreign suddenly enters our neighborhood, moving swiftly, leaving clues, and then disappearing before we can fully understand what just happened. That sense of wonder, fear, and curiosity is not reserved for scientists alone, but for all of humanity. Every time an object like Oumuamua or 3 IATLAS passes through, we are all reminded of one thing: maybe we are not the only intelligent beings in this universe. That question is no longer just science fiction. It is a real possibility, knocking at the door of our logic and our imagination. This story isn't only about astronomy or science. It's also about how humanity interprets the unknown, how anomalies can become the foundation of rigorous science on one hand, and fuel for conspiracy theories on the other. That is where mystery holds its power. We don't have definitive answers, only fragments, clues, and strange signals that can be interpreted in many ways. And in that empty space between fact and imagination, our minds run wild. Was Oumuamua just a cosmic rock, or could it have been a probe sent by an alien civilization to study us? Is 3 IATLAS simply a comet with unusual chemistry, or a disguised technology we can't yet recognize? These are the questions at the heart of the mystery. And mystery is the fuel for endless stories. As we begin this journey into the enigma of Oumuamua and 3 IATLAS, we stand at the intersection of 2 worlds. One world is grounded in science, with data, observations, graphs, and theories. The other is built on speculation, filled with belief, wonder, and wild possibilities. These two worlds collide, intertwine, and create a rich tapestry of narratives for us to explore. And it is in this collision, in this fragile balance between knowledge and mystery, that the true essence of the cosmic unknown reveals itself. The year 2017 marked a turning point in the history of modern astronomy. That was when the Pan-STARRS 1 telescope at Haleakala Observatory in Hawaii picked up something unusual during one of its nightly sky surveys. Astronomers were used to spotting asteroids, comets, or even small fragments wandering through planetary orbits. But this time, the data revealed something that simply didn't add up. A banned object moving at incredible speed, nearly 196,000 miles per hour, slicing through the solar system like a cosmic spear. From the very first detection, it was clear. This was no ordinary rock. As more data came in, the object's shape became a subject of fascination. It wasn't round like a typical asteroid, nor did it trail a glowing tail like a comet. Instead, Oumuamua's, it would come to be named, appeared long and thin, cigar-shaped or perhaps flattened like a shard. Its bizarre proportions immediately sparked debates. How could a natural object form with such an elongated structure without breaking apart? It looked less like a random fragment of cosmic debris and more like something deliberately crafted. What truly puzzled astronomers, though, was its motion. Normally, when a comet passes near the Sun, heat causes the ice on its surface to sublimate, releasing gas that creates both a glowing tail and a small push that alters its path. But Oumuamua displayed no such signs, no tail, no visible gas, nothing. Yet its trajectory clearly showed a mysterious push, what scientists called non-gravitational acceleration. Something unseen was propelling it, and no one could say what. When the discovery was made public, the world's media exploded with headlines. First visitor from another star, mysterious interstellar guest, and of course, is this evidence of aliens? Theories began flying. Most scientists played it safe, calling Oumuamua the first interstellar asteroid ever detected. But one voice rose above the crowd. Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb. He suggested the unthinkable. What if Oumuamua wasn't natural at all, but the remnant of alien technology, perhaps a probe sent to explore distant worlds? Loeb's claims sparked controversy. Many dismissed it as speculative, while others saw it as a bold possibility worth considering. In scientific circles, debates rarely burned this hot. But Oumuamua had ignited a fire that blurred the line between serious science and wild imagination. Journalists, researchers, and everyday people were caught up in the mystery. Some felt fear, others excitement, and many sensed that humanity might be standing on the brink of the greatest discovery in history. What made Oumuamua unforgettable wasn't just its shape or motion, it was its fleeting presence. The object streaked through so fast that astronomers had only a few weeks to study it before it was gone. Already too far away to observe in detail, it came like a whisper, left a riddle, and vanished back into the cosmic dark. That sense of ephemerality fueled both frustration and awe. Imagine an interstellar visitor passing through our neighborhood, and all we managed was a glimpse before it disappeared forever. In the imagination of many, Oumuamua became more than a rock. It was a symbol, a reminder that our solar system is not isolated but open to intrusions from the great unknown. If this one object could find its way here, who's to say others, larger, stranger, maybe even intelligent, won't do the same someday? Oumuamua was not merely an astronomical event, but a cosmic mirror forcing us to confront the possibility that we are not alone, that humanity is just one of countless eyes staring into the abyss of stars. After the global uproar caused by Oumuamua, astronomers everywhere became far more alert. Telescopes were tuned with greater precision, detection software refined, and attention sharpened toward the possibility of new visitors entering our solar system. The scientific community now understood that if one interstellar traveler could pass through, then surely there were more, wandering in the vast gulfs of space, waiting for their chance to reveal themselves. In August 2019, that chance arrived. Using a homemade telescope, a Ukrainian amateur astronomer named Gennady Borisov spotted a faint moving dot that would soon shake the astronomical world. Confirmed by the International Astronomical Union, it became the second known interstellar object officially named to I. Borisov. Unlike Oumuamua, with its bizarre shape and strange behavior, Borisov appeared familiar. It looked every bit like a comet, complete with a glowing tail as gases and dust escaped when it neared the sun. Yet, despite its more ordinary appearance, the fact that it came from beyond the solar system made it extraordinary. The discovery of Borisov proved something essential. Oumuamua was not a one-time anomaly. Before 2017, no one was sure if interstellar objects could even be detected crossing our neighborhood. Many assumed they were either too rare or too small to ever spot. But only 2 years later, Borisov arrived. This revealed that interstellar traffic might be more common than we ever imagined. Still, Borisov was not without its own mysteries. Its chemical makeup was distinct from the comets we knew. The ratios of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide released from its icy body were unusual, hinting at an origin in a far colder environment than anything within our solar system. Scientists concluded that Borisov likely formed around a star in a region rich in volatile ices, offering a rare glimpse into alien planetary systems. In this sense, Borisov was like an open book. If Oumuamua was a puzzle beyond comprehension, Borisov was a message that could be read, however faintly. Every observation was a fragment of a story about worlds far beyond our own. But the contrast between the two objects was striking. Oumuamua, no tail, strange acceleration, shape unlike any asteroid or comet. Borisov, a glowing tail, chemical signatures of ice, predictable behavior. The comparison begged the question: if Borisov was what a normal interstellar comet looked like, then what exactly was Oumuamua? Could its anomaly be a clue that it was something crafted, not natural? Together, these two discoveries changed the field forever. No longer could anyone deny that our solar system is not an isolated bubble. We are part of a greater current flowing through the galaxy, a current that carries with it unknown visitors. And when, in 2025, whispers spread of another object named 3I, Atlas, the world immediately remembered. They thought of Oumuamua, they thought of Borisov, and they wondered what new mysteries are about to unfold. The year 2025 marked another turning point in humanity's long watch over the skies. After the riddle of Oumuamua and the confirmation of Borisov, the scientific world was once again shaken by the detection of a new interstellar visitor. This one was named 3I, ATLAS, after the ATLAS telescope in Hawaii that first spotted it. The moment the news spread, the world couldn't help but connect it to the two earlier travelers. If Oumuamua was Chapter 1, Borisov was Chapter 2. Then Atlas was the third act in a cosmic story that seemed to grow stranger with every new discovery. From the very beginning, Atlas showed signs that set it apart. Its brightness didn't quite match its estimated size. Astronomers soon realized that it wasn't reflecting light in the way a typical comet would. Instead, its spectrum revealed large amounts of carbon dioxide, far more than any comet in our solar system had ever displayed. This oddity immediately raised questions. What kind of environment could produce such an object, and why did it look so different from anything we had ever seen before? Like Oumuamua, Atlas was too fast to ever be captured by the sun's gravity. Yet its trajectory puzzled researchers. It seemed too clean, too precise, almost as if its path were guided rather than random. Theories began to swirl. Was this another anomaly like Oumuamua, or something even stranger? The media jumped on the story, and comparisons between Atlas and Oumuamua flooded headlines. Borisov looked like a normal comet, easy to explain. But Oumuamua and Atlas now stood together as outliers, one with its bizarre acceleration and shape, the other with its unusual gases and suspiciously perfect path. For some, this was coincidence. For others, it was a clue that we were beginning to glimpse something beyond natural explanations. Pieces of a puzzle leading toward a bigger truth. Conspiracy theories spread quickly. Some claimed Atlas wasn't a comet at all, but a probe deliberately sent by an alien civilization. Others argued that NASA and global space agencies were withholding data, revealing only fragments to keep the public calm. Online communities tore through every scrap of information: images, light curves, spectral readings, looking for hidden patterns. The more data that came out, the less anyone seemed to truly understand. Scientists officially remained cautious. They urged patience, warned against jumping to conclusions. Yet even among academics, the tone was shifting. Ideas once dismissed as fringe now gained traction. If Oumuamua had already cracked the door open, Atlas was pushing it wider. Atlas was more than another interstellar object. It was a reminder that our solar system isn't a sealed-off fortress, but a rest stop on an endless interstellar highway. Its arrival demanded not only scientific explanations, but also philosophical ones. If these objects carried a message or a purpose, then the real question wasn't what Atlas was, but who or what might have sent it. As astronomers observed Atlas more closely, a growing unease began to spread through the scientific community. Oumuamua had baffled researchers with its cigar-like shape and unexplained acceleration. But Atlas came with anomalies that seemed even stranger. Every new piece of data only deepened the mystery, adding questions rather than answers. The first thing that set Atlas apart was its composition. Spectral analysis revealed immense amounts of carbon dioxide being released, far more than any known comet had ever displayed. This was not typical behavior for an interstellar object. In our solar system, comets usually vent water vapor, carbon monoxide, or methane. But Atlas appeared to carry a chemical fingerprint that simply didn't match anything familiar. Some scientists speculated it must have originated in a star system with conditions vastly different from our own. Others dared to wonder if its odd chemical signature was not natural at all, but designed. Then there was its path. Atlas traveled at breakneck speed, yet its trajectory seemed uncannily neat. Many astronomers felt its course didn't resemble the chaotic motion expected of a wandering comet. Instead, it moved almost as if guided, as though it had been launched with precision rather than drifting by chance. Unlike natural comets, which are nudged by uneven jets of gas or the sun's radiation, Atlas held a steady motion, obeying rules of physics that scientists couldn't quite pin down. Debates within the scientific community grew fierce. Some clung to the idea that Atlas was simply a new kind of comet, a reminder of nature's ability to surprise us. But others argued that the odds of encountering not one, but to such bizarre interstellar objects in such a short span of time stretched coincidence beyond belief. If Oumuamua could be excused as an oddity, what about Atlas? And if these were only the first we'd seen, how many more might be out there? Public fascination exploded. Headlines screamed about the third mysterious visitor, while conspiracy forums buzzed with speculation that Atlas was not natural at all, but some kind of alien probe. Some even suggested that Oumuamua and Atlas were related, fragments of a greater fleet moving silently through interstellar space. NASA and other agencies tried to temper the hysteria, issuing cautious statements and reminding everyone that research takes time. But restraint only fueled speculation. Every blurry image, every spectral graph, every hesitant phrase from a scientist was dissected and debated online. Curiosity and fear mingled, forming an atmosphere of suspense unlike anything in recent history. Oumuamua had been the first crack in the door. Atlas felt like the invitation to walk through it. It was no longer just about what we had found, it was about the possibility that we were being found. 2. Whenever the universe presents a mystery that defies easy explanation, conspiracy theories are never far behind. Atlas was no exception. From online forums and late-night YouTube channels to casual debates on social media, countless theories emerged, each trying to unravel a hidden meaning behind its sudden appearance. One of the most popular theories claimed that Atlas was not natural at all. According to believers, its peculiar shape, unusual orbit, and strange chemical makeup were signs of deliberate construction. To them, Atlas was an ancient spacecraft, perhaps a satellite left behind by an advanced alien civilization, or a capsule designed to carry a message across the stars. The idea was simple but chilling. Nothing about its behavior seemed accidental. Other theories linked ATLAS directly to Oumuamua. In this telling, the two objects were not separate events, but parts of a larger mission. Oumuamua was the scout, silently mapping the solar system, while Atlas followed as the second step, gathering more information or testing humanity's awareness of the cosmos. Each anomaly, in this view, was just another chapter in a long narrative leading toward an inevitable encounter with something far beyond us. Darker theories pushed even further. They argued that governments, especially agencies like NASA, knew far more than they were letting on. Classified data, withheld images, and missing reports were cited as proof of a cover-up. Was NASA hiding evidence that we were under observation? Or worse, had they already entered into secret agreements with extraterrestrials passing through our skies? Some theorists even tied Atlas to mythology. The name itself, they argued, was a clue. In Greek myth, Atlas was the Titan condemned to hold up the heavens for eternity, a symbol of cosmic power. Two conspiracy believers. Naming this interstellar visitor Atlas was no coincidence but a subtle signal, perhaps a deliberate nod from scientists or shadowy elites, that the object was more than it seemed. A piece of humanity's forgotten story returning from the depths of space. The media, eager for sensational headlines, amplified the speculation. Documentaries hinted at alien probes, journalists asked loaded questions, and public curiosity spiraled. On the internet, debates raged endlessly. Skeptics dismissed the theories as fantasy, while others clung to them as glimpses of truth finally seeping through the cracks. And at the heart of all the noise, one haunting question lingered. If Atlas really was a messenger A machine, what was it trying to say? Was it an invitation, a warning, or the beginning of something much larger than we could imagine? As the mysteries of Oumuamua and Atlas spilled out of laboratories and scientific journals, the wider world was drawn into a storm of speculation and debate. Mainstream media, always hungry for big stories, seized the opportunity. They knew that the public would be captivated far more by uncertainty and dramatic framing than by cautious scientific reports filled with data and equations. Headlines blared across newspapers, and documentaries aired with ominous music and narrators who spoke of strangers from the stars. The public divided into camps. Some clung to official statements from NASA, ESA, and other space agencies, trying to make sense of the science even when it was buried in jargon and technical detail. Others dismissed every official word, convinced it was all part of a cover-up to hide a deeper truth. And in between were those caught in a fog of fascination and suspicion, unsure who to believe. Pulled back and forth between wonder and doubt, scientists found themselves in an uncomfortable position. On the one hand, they wanted to maintain academic credibility, grounded in the slow, deliberate pace of the scientific method. On the other, they knew the public craved answers, simple, direct answers that science could not yet provide. Every word uttered in an interview risked being twisted. A pause in a response could be spun into evidence of deception. Those who remained cautious were branded as evasive, while those who speculated even slightly were immediately spotlighted as alien believers. The tension grew worse as social media amplified every fragment. Clips from press conferences were cut down, stripped of context, and given sensational titles before being spread to millions. Careful discussions became 30-second soundbites that seemed to confirm the wildest theories. Everyone felt they had access to the truth, when in reality they were only consuming fragments of a much larger and far more complex picture, and perhaps that was the real revelation. The true mystery of Oumuamua and Atlas might not be the objects themselves, but humanity's reaction to them. The clash between science, media, and the public was not simply about discovering facts. It was about Oumuamua, our fear of the unknown, our hunger for meaning, and our fragile balance between curiosity and paranoia. In this climate, the atmosphere of mystery thickened. Millions gazed up at the night sky, wondering if something out there was watching us. Scientists kept searching their telescopes for data, but the public remained fixated on a deeper, more unsettling question. Were we truly alone? Or had we just unlocked a door to a reality that had always been hidden above us? Every great mystery faced by humanity eventually gives rise to one daring question. What if what we are seeing is not chance at all, but an intentional message? From the moment Oumuamua was named, whispers circulated about it being more than a rock, about it being a probe, a piece of technology sent deliberately to pass through our solar system. When Atlas appeared soon after, that whisper became a conversation too big to ignore. Picture an ancient civilization, millions of years older than ours, long before humans struck the first spark of fire. Perhaps they mastered interstellar travel ages ago, deploying probes or devices to survey every system they encountered. To them, our solar system might be just one of countless stops along the way. In that light, Oumuamua and Atlas may be nothing extraordinary at all, just two markers among many left behind. Except this time we were alert enough to notice. Some suggest that Oumuamua was an old relic, a dead fragment of technology drifting aimlessly, while Atlas was something newer, brighter, more active. The contrast between the two sparks speculation. Were we witnessing the evolution of alien technology? Or were these objects communicating in a pattern we could not yet decipher? A cosmic language written not in words but in trajectories and light. Others propose an even bolder idea that these objects were not just passing through by chance, but deliberately choosing paths that made them visible. They came close enough, bright enough, strange enough, that no astronomer could overlook them. It was as if someone wanted to be seen, but not understood. A quiet signal, like a footprint in the sand, left not to reveal identity, but to provoke thought. Layer upon layer of conspiracy builds from there. Some insist that governments already know the truth, that Atlas and Oumuamua are not natural objects, but alien constructs. The public only sees a fraction of the data, while the most telling evidence is locked away behind classified walls. And that raises an even darker question. If these really are messages, why keep them hidden? Is it fear of global panic? Or is it because negotiations, or something far more complicated, are already happening in secret? Yet beyond the speculation, one reality remains. Oumuamua and Atlas have altered the way we look at the sky. They've reminded us that space may not be silent at all, but alive with signals waiting to be read. And as humanity peers into the stars with newfound curiosity, the question lingers in the void. Are we witnessing the beginning of a conversation between civilizations? Or just the kind of cosmic coincidence too perfect to ever feel like chance? If Oumuamua and Atlas are not just comets or asteroids, the implications for humanity's future are staggering. Imagine for a moment our entire history, every war, every invention, the rise and fall of civilizations, suddenly made small by the possibility that something out there is watching us. The world, divided by borders, ideologies, and beliefs, would be forced to look in the same direction, upward. The first scenario that emerges is nothing short of a scientific revolution. If these objects are alien technology, then we are standing at the edge of physics far beyond our own. Energy, propulsion, even communication could be redefined by a single piece of evidence, proving we are not alone. Humanity could discover ways to travel among the stars, to build machines once confined to the pages of science fiction. But hope comes hand in hand with fear. Because if a civilization exists that can launch Oumuamua and Atlas across interstellar space, they are undoubtedly more advanced than us. The question becomes, would they see humanity as an ally or as a small, irrelevant species? History on Earth has shown time and again that the strong dominate the weak. If that pattern extends to the cosmic scale, then we must ask ourselves, are we ready? The impact wouldn't just be scientific, but also social and psychological. How would ordinary people react to the reality that we might be under observation? Some would be filled with hope, reassured by the idea that we are not alone, that we have never truly been alone in this vast universe. Others would be overcome with fear, panic, or outright denial. The clash between religious beliefs and scientific discovery could ignite new tensions. Some might see aliens as creators, others as demons, and still others might begin to worship them as gods. Economics too would shift overnight. Nations would race to control information, to claim fragments of proof, perhaps even to reverse engineer any technology they could find. A new space race could emerge, not just to reach the Moon or Mars, but to establish contact with the origins of Oumuamua and Atlas. Whoever solves their mystery first could hold the greatest power humanity has ever known. Yet perhaps The most profound impact would be collective awareness that we are just one small piece of something much greater. No matter the truth of these mysteries, humanity would be forced to see itself not as divided nations, but as one species beneath the same sky. Oumuamua and Atlas, whatever they truly are, may have already played their most important role, uniting us in the same curiosity, the same fear, and the same fragile hope that we might endure whatever comes next. And here we stand, at the edge of a mystery greater than anything humanity has ever faced. Oumuamua and Atlas are not just lifeless rocks drifting through space. They are symbols, signs, perhaps even messages that the universe holds secrets far beyond our imagination. We can choose to believe they are nothing more than natural phenomena, coincidences born from physics we don't yet understand. But we can also dare to imagine they are footprints left intentionally by something or someone out there. The questions remain, suspended in silence. Are we merely a lonely accident in a forgotten corner of the galaxy? Or are we part of a story much larger, a story written by hands not human? This mystery may not be solved anytime soon. It may not even be solved within our lifetime. But perhaps that's the beauty of it. Mysteries aren't always meant to be erased. They are meant to be pursued, studied, and wondered about. Imagine if one day we discover undeniable proof that these objects are alien technology. The world would never be the same. History itself would split in two, before Oumuamua and Atlas, and after. And even if they turn out to be nothing more than strange cosmic rocks, they have already changed us. They've made us ask. They've made us doubt. They've made us think beyond ourselves. One thing is certain. The universe will always be larger, darker, and far more mysterious than we can ever truly comprehend. We are wanderers, gazing up at the stars, trying to decipher the silent language of the cosmos. But before that silence is broken, I'll leave you with a question. What do you believe Oumuamua and Atlas really are? Just strange space rocks, or hidden messages from another civilization? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, because I want to know how you see this mystery. And don't forget to support this channel, like and share this video so more people can join us in exploring the secrets the universe refuses to reveal. Remember, every click, every comment isn't just a number. It's energy. Energy that keeps mysteries like this alive. Maybe we'll never have the final answer, but as long as the questions remain, so does the story. And here we are, together, keeping the fire of curiosity burning.